Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to be here today. I think the topic of prosperity is an excellent one for me because prosperity really comes through innovation. And what I want to talk to you about today is the incredible innovation that I see in this next decade. In fact, I think that the term information age is the most appropriate to capture how dramatic all of these changes will be. The information age will really take place within this next decade, and it will transform the economy as much as the industrial age. If we look back on the computer industry and what it's meant so far, it's actually had very little impact. Computers have been the tools primarily of large organizations, airline reservation systems, billing systems, stock exchanges. All of them have used computers to manage hundreds of thousands of transactions. And so in a certain sense, the computer has been a tool that's encouraged large scale. The benefits of the big machines have really gone only to the very largest companies. Well, today we're witnessing a dramatic change in the role of the computer. And now the computer is becoming a tool for the individual and a tool of communications. A few words on the technology itself. The chip technology is really magic. Every 2 years it's possible to provide at the same price something with over double the power of what's come before. And so in the course of a decade, we end up being able to provide something over 30 times faster than what was available before. That means that on a desk, in simply a few years' time, you'll have something that's more powerful than the very largest supercomputer. And so that computer is your agent. It's there to help you. And in the information age, what that means, it's there to help you find information. It's there to help you filter through all the data that's there electronically. Now, what is it about the computer that is going to create such an impact? Well, to me, of course, capitalism is the greatest invention of economic organization. And what defines the friction within capitalistic markets? Well, it's finding out who has goods on offer. It's finding out previous experiences people have had with suppliers. It's communicating across the organization. And so in the past, when we've seen the trade-off of should a company do its functions in-house or should it rely on outside firms, a lot of that is dealt with the need to be able to find those skills very easily and be able to ensure that they're there in very high quality. Well, as we move to electronic information markets, as all the data about what consultants are there or what's going on with customers, as the ability to communicate on a worldwide basis gets less and less expensive, we'll find that the very nature of industrial organization will change. And in most industries, what that will mean is that it's not as necessary for a company to keep functions internally. Markets like real estate, markets like finding professionals, medical consultation, and certainly, and perhaps with the greatest impact, education, will all be mediated in this electronic form. The advances will include not only the computer running at faster speeds, but also the miniaturization of these devices. Virtually everyone in 10 to 15 years' time will be able to carry around a wallet PC. Smaller than today's wallet, will certainly supersede all of its functions. You can have thousands of pictures of your children if you like, easy to call up. You can have your tickets all stored in electronic form, no need to have paper or anything like that. You'll be able to receive messages, news bulletins. In fact, the machine over time will learn what you're interested in, what type of sports, what type of news events. And so the most important thing to you might be the weather in a particular area, and it will put that right on the headline of your own personalized newspaper. We'll also have notebook-sized devices that we can carry around, and they'll be no larger than a tablet of paper. The computer will have progressed from simply taking its input through the keyboard, and although the keyboard will still be widely used for things like entering large amounts of text, we'll also be able to speak to the computer and have it recognize our handwriting. This advance in handwriting recognition is taking place right now. We've been experimenting this in our laboratories, and the computer still isn't perfect at this. In fact, my handwriting's very poor, and it's been interesting to see how I've been forced to improve in order to get the computer to recognize what I write. Perhaps the same thing will happen with speech, and we'll have more homogenization of speaking techniques. The first domain that this revolution will have an impact in is business. Information tools have very clear payback within the business environment. The ability to video conference, receive voicemail, the ability to keep track of your relationships with customers, the ability to have your employees collaborate on a worldwide basis. It's really quite something. One of the first steps that Microsoft took itself in using these tools was to eliminate written reports. In so many companies, when you go into an executive's office, you'll see these notebooks of numbers and numbers that they get on a monthly basis. And they dutifully receive these reports and then file them away on their shelf. Well, I don't think it's very common that they actually pull them down and look at them. In fact, in our case, what happened was that when we took all those numbers and we made them available on the computer, so you simply point and see the summary data, and if you want to get more detail, you can look at it by time period, by geography, any way you want to look at that data. It's all there, not only for the executives, but for the people at the lowest level of the company who are actually doing the real work. So don't think of it as an executive information system. Think of it as empowerment for everyone in the company. Well, the first thing we found when we put that system out was that people really started using the numbers. They paid attention. They started talking about, why was our market share here different than somewhere else? Another amazing thing was they found that there were many mistakes in the numbers. And the poor data processing group said, geez, we're very sorry about these mistakes, but we've been making the same mistakes for 5 years, and you never noticed before. And so we had to take all of those nice notebooks off of our shelf, put them down, because we realized that since we hadn't been paying attention, the data really hadn't been monitored and was of no value whatsoever. Well, the changes that will be brought by these advances in technology are very hard to predict. As is typical, when we get into new technology, the first thing we do is simply do the old things we did before and do them at a lower price. And then it's only after we've gotten used to the technology that we start to really recognize its true potential and do new things. We've seen this before. When TV became popular, everyone thought of it as sort of an enhanced radio experience, and so they'd come onto the screen in a very stone-faced way and read the same sorts of things they had done in the radio environment. And it was several decades before the full power of that medium was exploited.